I'm going to showcase you an internal chatbot which can upload files for you, and it's custom solution that can be and should be hosted on your Azure cloud, making it private to you, your company, and your data. And it can upload videos, create folders, and even learns from your feedback. Oh yeah, and it only works with SharePoint and OneDrive users. But all of that we're gonna cover in this video. Now, I cannot mention also that Copilot doesn't have such functionality. I mean, I've been saying this since the start of this year, and I will keep saying it, that this is another benefit of building custom solution. And with that said, I've already opened the internal chatbot, which you've probably seen in few other videos, and here we now have this file addition feature. We have the SharePoint in place with few made folders and then folders inside those folders, and then, well, you get the idea. Now, without further talking, let's give this chatbot a PDF. Here, let's take this one. It's some kind of e-handbook, not sure what it is actually. And then you also probably here see a description field, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But now let's simply just upload the file, and now this chatbot, he's going to retrieve all the folders in the SharePoint. In this example, we have like few. It's going to retrieve all subfolders of those, then also another subfolders, right? And it's going to go through these folders, see in which it's better to put such file. It even can see other files in those folders. And then while it's going through these folders, it's going like back and forth. So it's not that it just chooses this one folder and then it can't go back, right? But we've actually made these intelligent loops. It can do itself, that if it goes into folder, it sees that no, this is not good. It goes back, checks another folder, sees if there's some subfolders in there. And it just kind of goes like that, deciding himself if it should create maybe a folder, if not, and then eventually uploads that file, just like it did here. And I'm not sure if it did in this situation create even folder, but in this case, it put it into HR folder, into employee handbooks. And if you open it, we can see it here. That's like 2 minutes ago, it just uploaded it. And let me actually go back and see. Yeah, it even created a folder. So it decided itself that it needs to create a folder. In this case, employee handbooks. And HR, because probably with people, that's why probably it decided that. And another thing which I forgot to tell you is that when you give some kind of these PDFs or Words or these other documents, how it's going to actually decide where to put the file is that he's going to read first 5 to 10 pages of that PDF. In this example, if you open it, it's this McDonald's employee handbook. So it would read the first 5-10 pages of this PDF. It would create some kind of overview about what is the document. And then based on that overview and also a file name and maybe some other parameters, it would then decide and go through these folders back and forth where it thinks it should go. And kind of that's the process we have made. And then if we give this link to the file where it uploaded it, so user can just instantly go to that file. And let's also not forget that the main idea for this internal chatbot is actually to help you find information in your cloud files and videos. But as this is custom built, we can sort of like grow this solution as little onion, putting on layers on top of it. And we can do a lot of these custom things, which just wouldn't be possible with some kind of solution like Copilot. And at the end, it's not worth it because you're just overpaying it. As crazy as it may sound, this custom solution at the end costs you way less than something like Copilot. But all of that I've mentioned in the past, and you can see it somewhere. And that's not the point of this video. Now, about that description field, which I was talking about, you can also kind of like prompt AI where it should put the file maybe. So this also works like that. Although mainly it's for the videos to show you that. For example, if you upload a PDF and then you can say something like, put this into AI root folder, and then you're just going to upload a file. Yeah, and we can see it put it into AI folder, which you can see actually here. And now this is an optional thing which I showed you. But the main purpose of this description field is actually for videos. And so if we would go and upload a video, then we can see it also shows here that it's required for the videos, and we actually cannot upload a file once we've given this description. And that's because it has to have some kind of overview of what is in the video, because it cannot pull out info just like it did with PDFs, like I showed you before, where it pulls out the first 5 pages or 10. With videos, it's not possible, although you've probably seen in previous videos that this internal chatbot solution can find info from videos. But this is possible only when the video is uploaded to the cloud. But we are now uploading this video to the clouds. So that's why it's not yet possible, if that makes sense actually. So the moment this video would be in the cloud, then it would be searchable. But for AI to upload this video first, it has to have description. So now let's give this description about the video. And let's say that this is an internal chatbot solution overview video of how it works. For example, I made a mistake. Let me delete that. And now if we click on upload video, based on this description which we gave him, he would then go through these folders and see in which folder it would be more appropriate. And in this case, he saw that we have internal chatbot folder. and we have actually video folder inside there, and he put it here. And if we actually click on this video, we can see that the description which we gave for the AI, it's actually now put also in the SharePoint itself for the video description. And if you watched my previous videos, then you know that it's important to also have description for the videos which doesn't have sound, because by that internal chatbot can find you those videos and you can ask questions about them. And this is actually extra manual step which this chatbot gets rid of, because otherwise how you would do it before, you would go upload the video, then you would go into that video, and then you would go here, you would actually write that thing we wrote, and then you would save it, and then that's how you would go with this. But this thing just made it automatic, which is pretty cool. So the description field can be used in two ways. The required way is that you describe what is in the video, and the optional way is that you describe where you want the AI to put them. But the next thing which I wanted to show you was images. And for images, it's actually interesting, because when you're about to upload an image, and let's now select this signature PNG, then AI is first going to check that file name, because if you're uploading images to your SharePoint and you want your internal chatbot to actually be able to find them, then you have to have a meaningful name for it. And I had these rules in my previous video where I went through like the 5 most important rules which you have to take into consideration when working with files on your SharePoint. There was a PDF which you can of course still access and use it for your own company. And this image naming rule was in that PDF. And what I did, mainly the rules are actually given to the chatbot, so you wouldn't also have to always think about it, you know, and chatbot can do it for you. Of course, there are still some things which you have to think about, but as you can see in this situation, AI checked the file name of the image, and then it said that file name is too generic, and it gave actually some suggestion for the file name, that we could call it something like signature for project proposal May 2026, because it's May. And let's actually have it like the AI instructed us, and we can say that we want to use this name. Also here we can put some description like previously, but let's not do that, and let's just click on upload file, and it's gonna now upload that image with that corrected name which we gave, which is this one, the signature for project proposal. And again, we didn't have to do it manually. Well, of course we gave the name, but I mean the whole process, AI just checked itself, gave suggestion, and we just had to approve it in this situation. And that is all cool and nice, but you've also probably noticed this field. Well, if you haven't, then I'm telling you. And this is a feedback field. And this one, I saved it for the last for a reason, because this one is the most important field here for this whole solution to work correctly. And this feedback thing is something user has to provide when the AI, for example, puts the file incorrectly somewhere. But now, by default, if you're gonna use this solution at the start, you have to understand that it's gonna make mistakes. That's inevitable. I mean, that's like a new employee would come into your company. He would also upload documents wrongly. He would create some unnecessary folders, put it somewhere where it's not needed, and then you would kind of like, you know, instruct it to be correct. And how this is done is that if the AI puts the file wrongly somewhere, then you go ahead and you describe what went wrong or where should it put it next time. And by that, it's going to kind of like train this AI to be better at this. And at a certain point, it's going to have these principles or rules on how you're uploading files, and he will be able to do it correctly. So now let's go ahead and upload a video again. And let's go with some like testimonial video, and we're going to say that in description, just like this. And then we're going to hit upload. And now it uploaded the video into testimonials folder, which seemed like obvious one probably because we had a testimonial video, right? And let's check it out quickly, and we can see that yes, this video is uploaded, and it uploaded into testimonial folder. But now maybe the thing we wanted him to do would be to create a separate folder for each testimonial video we do with clients. And now let's say to it that the next time when there's a testimonial video, please create a dedicated folder for each client in the main testimonial folder. And now let's send this feedback, and this feedback is sent to AI, which means next time it's going to upload a video, a testimonial video, it's going to create a dedicated folder for each client. At least it should do so. So now let's see if it actually will do it. And let's again choose a testimonial video. And this time I pulled a little bit different one, but now let's say that this is a testimonial video we did with imdev about internal chatbot. Let's upload this time, and it has uploaded a testimonial. We can see it did create actually a separate folder for client. As we said, this is for imdev, and we can see the video here, which means it took into consideration our feedback which we gave previously. And now kind of that's how it goes. So basically the more you upload videos and the more you give feedback to it, faster it will learn. And at the end, you're going to have a machine doing it perfectly, and you will not have to spend a second doing such thing as uploading files. And also there isn't like a limit for what size of documents or videos you can upload. I do have mentioned here that there's a max 500 megabytes for videos, but that is just like theoretical. as like when the video gets uploaded, it actually gets like chunked behind the back and then it's get uploaded. So that's why it's more effective. So really there's no limit to these documents. And maybe the last thing I want you to leave thinking is that this file uploading just makes this whole internal chatbot solution like a complete loop, because at the start, internal chatbot can search your files in your cloud, but now as you can also upload your files into cloud, that means that you don't have to leave internal chatbot and you can just use the chatbot. Of course, if you have to edit the files, obviously, yeah, then you have to go into cloud. But other than that, you can do and you can find through chatbot, and the chatbot is in Teams, SharePoint, in your meetings, some kind of private IP address, Outlook, and all these other things. And I mean, the less is more, is like they say. And if you can minimize the windows, if you can minimize the steps, then that's a big chunk of time you're saving. But other than that, if you'd actually like to have your company's own chatbot, which can now also upload files into your cloud and learn from your feedback, then of course you can get in touch with us. This is something we do and so far help companies worldwide. And there's email below, there's Calendly link below where you can book call directly. And that's all for me. Take care.